Welcome back to the Elle-Sera podcast. And on today's chat, I was joined by Sam Fox. Sam is obviously a legend, 80s page 3 girl, one of the absolute legends, one who kicked it off back in the day. She's an incredible pop star and has had a glittering career from the age of 19 up until today. She's still touring and she's got a new album coming out. She's doing some incredible things. And one of the best things about it is she's an Elle-Sera customer. So enjoy the chat. Welcome back to the Elle-Sera podcast, and today I have absolute glitterati with me. We've got model, superstar, all-round legend, and Elle-Sera customer, Samantha Fox.
Hiya, how you doing?
Very good, very good. It's lovely to have you here. And we were just talking before the podcast how we actually came to meet, and I'll just tell the story of when I started this business. I had an office which was no bigger than the size of this rug. It was this tiny broom cupboard, and I remember getting this order through. I must have been only trading for about 3 weeks, and I seen Samantha Fox, and I was like, I looked at the email address, I looked at the address, and I was like, that is the Samantha Fox. And I wrote to you this cheesiest note ever.
You certainly did. I mean, at that time, obviously being a menopausal woman, I was doing so much investigating, and your product just hit me, just not only the marketing, the style of it and how gorgeous it was what was actually in the product. Because so many that I was kind of looking up and didn't know what to get because I didn't really want to take HRT. I did start an HRT, then because there's breast cancer in my family, my doctor kind of said you shouldn't really be on it that long. So that's when I discovered your product. Out of them all, I was looking, and everything was natural and 100% product. 100% of the product was in that tiny pill, and not the bulking agents and the things that makes, what else do you call it?
Yeah, so a lot of other supplement companies, they will bulk out their product with rice bran flour or talcum powder or stuff that's completely ineffective and your body doesn't really need. But everything that's in our pill is therapeutic dose of an active ingredient.
Exactly. I'm very much into nutrition, and so I quite enjoyed reading about various tablets for the menopause, but yours just struck me as just a pure, simple pill to take. And, I'm very into vitamin supplements, but at that time I was buying vitamin C, vitamin B, D, selenium, so many did. So I would go abroad because I spend most of my workload now is mainly abroad singing, and a whole makeup bag would be full of tablets.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be embarrassed leaving them in the bathroom. I'd think, what do cleaners think of me of all these pills? So when I read about your product, I thought, oh my God, how brilliant. I can just take away this product and just take 2 of these pills a day, and it does everything that all these other vitamins that I was taking. So in the long run, people like myself would save a lot of money just buying this one tablet, which was yours, which had everything that I needed in it.
Well, it's good to know. And I was absolutely buzzing. You can't even imagine. I was I didn't even have any other staff. It was just me buzzing in my broom cupboard. And I was just it's a great thing because you were a genuine customer.
Yeah,
you genuinely purchased this. I didn't send it for free or anything like that. Didn't expect anything in return. I was just oh, this is amazing.
I was really happy that you wrote me a note too.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they know me. I know, it's amazing because I was thinking, they must get so many orders. This is such a fantastic product. They won't notice it's me.
I think I was having about 5 orders a day back then, but yeah.
Well, there you go. And I'm still taking it, and I'm so glad to be on your podcast just to reach out to other women how much your product has helped me, as an individual.
Yeah.
And all I can say is top marks to you.
Oh,
You've really helped me.
I really appreciate you being here and having this chat with us about it.
You're welcome.
But okay, so we kind of dived in there, how I came across you. Obviously, I know who you are, absolute superstar, and I was like I said, buzzing at the time. But I mean, you are an absolute legend. Everybody, even my generation, the older generation, everybody knows Sam Fox. You were
scary,
but great.
Yeah.
And actually, I think you've had such a long career because you You're so nice.
Thank you.
Like you are
We haven't
so
finished
nice.
yet, you know. I'm joking.
But you've had such a great career. So let's go back to where it started. You started when you were 16 as a page 3 girl.
I did. It wasn't I didn't actually dream about being a page 3 girl. Spent most of my childhood in various drama schools, so I was singing and acting, and primarily that's what I really wanted to do. I used to tell the teachers, I used to say, when I leave school, I'm going to be famous. And it sounds stupid, doesn't it? And in what way do you want to be famous? I said, well, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be an actress. And that's what I really wanted to do. But they kind of steer you away from that, don't they? Because it's not a proper job. And then I just studied graphic design because I was good at art, and I guess I wanted to go into advertising. So they said, no, I've got to stand at school and do a proper job, which I did. So there was a competition in the newspaper, Girls, You Can Be the Face and Shape of 83. And there was no mention of page 3 in this competition. It was just about send a picture of, if you've got a daughter or a girlfriend who's got the face and the shape, send in a picture now. So people were sending in pictures in T-shirts and shorts, swimsuits, anyway, I dressed in a basque, like a Victorian basque in white with white gloves, very tasteful. I was nearly 17. I know it probably don't make any difference, but when you say 16, it sounds really young.
Yeah.
So I was on the way to nearly being 17. And me and my mum was talking, and so my mum took a couple of pictures of me by my Laura Ashley wallpaper, and my nan put my bedside lamp into my face to light it up. And I'm wearing this really lovely Victorian outfit. You could see my figure, obviously. Yeah. And that was sent in, and we didn't hear anything for a long, long time. And I carried on at school doing my O-levels and then my A-levels. And I think, was it 4 to 5 months later, we got a call.
Right.
No, maybe 3 months. 3 months later, we got a call, and it said that that I'd reached the final 20. And to be honest, it had kind of been and gone. And I, obviously all my dreams, and at that time I was thinking, oh my God, wouldn't it be great, to get my foot in and be a celebrity, because I was very young and that's what I dreamed of. And I got chosen out of, I was in the final 20, so I had to go along to a proper photo shoot, because my mum's pictures were taken on a Kodak Brownie. They were only like 2x4, very tiny.
Yeah.
And mum wrote on the back 36, 23, 31. So this particular photographer thought, oh my God, with an ample bust and such a small pair of hips and a very small waist, I've got to see this girl.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I went up, and there was 19 other girls, all very professional, a lot older than me. And on the table was all their 10x8 professional photos that they'd sent in. And you just saw mine on the top. And they all had like Louis Vuitton cases and makeup bags, and all beautiful and a bit older than me. And I remember looking around thinking, oh, I don't know, they're all so gorgeous. Then I went in the back, and first time ever in my life got my makeup done by a makeup artist. Because I think they were all looking at me at the beginning thinking, she looks so young.
Yeah.
Without makeup, I probably looked about, 14.
Yeah.
And I was tiny. I'm only 5'1", so they're probably looking at me thinking, she can't be a model. She looks really young and she's little. So, yeah, he asked me to stay to the end to do extra pictures, and he said to me, you'd make a fantastic page 3 girl. So he said, would you like me to talk to the Sun? And my mum was there with me at the photo shoot, and we said, we better talk to your dad. And the photographer who was doing the shoot said that I really reminded him of his wife, Vivian Neve. She was tiny like me, with an ample figure, an ample bosom and a good figure. And she was the first nude on the Times.
Wow.
So apparently I reminded John of his wife. So I stayed behind and did some extra pictures. And then they weren't supposed to go anywhere, the pictures, but they did go on the front page of this particular newspaper as the Falklands War was on. And so they stuck this picture of me topless, because he said they would never be seen.
Yeah.
Silly me. You learn straight from the beginning.
Yeah.
And there it was on the front page, and I had to go to school. That was Sunday, and I had to go to school on the Monday. Oh my God. It was unbelievable.
How did school react? Were they supportive or?
It's so funny because my RE teacher, she was really, really proud. And then my music teacher was proud. Most of my teachers always knew that I would never be a 9 to 5, but I don't think expected me to be topless either. But they supported me, but the headmaster, no. He called me into his office and said, was you wearing a body stocking, Samantha? And I went, oh, no, I wasn't wearing a body stocking. I don't know if that would make it any better, the fact the body stocking was see-through. But anyway, he asked to see my mum and dad. They went up and he said to my mum and dad, I think it's best that she leaves because she's creating a little bit of a disturbance amongst the first years.
Right.
The first years loved it. It was crazy. But I got expelled, but I was allowed to carry on to do my A-levels because, as my dad always said, and my mum, you've got to have something to fall back on. I didn't dream at the time that I would be still here today after 41 years.
I know.
You know? So I was the first girl ever to be signed for 4 years. So I was their girl.
Yeah.
So I think my parents and me kind of thought, well, I am something special. It's not just going to be a few page threes and to be forgotten about. And I certainly didn't want to do page 3 and live to regret it. Yeah. So when I got the contract, I thought, I'm going to change the face of page 3. And I think I did, because the first year I went on Terry Wogan, Des O'Connor. Then I started to present the 6 o'clock show with Michael Aspel.
Yeah.
And then I was opening shops and...
this was like big, like big celebrities. There was no social media. There was none of these like influencers.
Just fan clubs.
Exactly. And newspaper sales back then were ridiculously high because that's how everybody got their
20
news.
million.
Yeah, everybody bought it day in, day out. So overnight you catapulted into stardom.
Yeah.
And it must have been an absolute whirlwind.
It was. I know. It's only now... through writing my book and going back over press cuttings, I was quite lucky that my dad, he collected every press cutting from the age of 16 up until when he died, unfortunately, but I've carried on.
Yeah.
So it's great to sit down with the book writers because I can go, 1983, I have everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I sit there and I go, oh my God, I did that, I did this. When did I sleep? I couldn't cope with it now. Now mind you, those little gold pills are really good.
So looking back at your career, I mean, times have changed now. We haven't even got page 3 anymore.
No.
Was there ever a time where you felt pressured into things like looking back now as, looking back on your career as you've been going through your book, did you ever think, really didn't want to do that or was pressured into that? Or was there any like negatives that you can remember?
I was very lucky to have a mum who, in her younger life, before she even had me, was in the entertainment business. My mum was a dancer and ready, steady, go in the 60s. So she was dancing alongside the Beatles, the Stones, and to say, many, 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 the Phil Spector kind of, them days of all the girls on Phil Spector, the Ronettes and... I don't know. So she kind of had an inkling about the business. And then she was a fashion model for a while. The catwalk kind of modelling, not the kind of modelling I did, because my mum was tall. So when I did become famous and the bookings were just like, the phone was going and going, my mum used to travel with me and just make sure everything was really tasteful and there was no creepy photographers.
Yeah.
Remember, I was just coming up for 17. I was young.
Yeah.
I was a baby. So having my mum with me really helped.
Yeah, definitely. They couldn't pull a fast one while she's there.
No. And she's she's been my rock. I don't think without my mum I'd still be here, to be honest, doing what I'm doing. Yeah. She's kept my feet on the ground.
Yeah.
I can talk to my mum about anything,
Well, that's great. That's great. Looking back now, page 3's completely changed. Yes. Glamour's completely changed. But would you recommend it as a career? Now we've got OnlyFans, which is, I don't know where we stop when you get on OnlyFans because it's not just good enough to get your boobs out anymore.
No.
Because that back then, that was quite a big deal.
It was a big deal, definitely. But
now it's like you can go on the internet and see boobs wherever you look, really.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
I think definitely page 3 has had its time. But because you just go on the internet now. I mean, I'd much rather... I've got 2 stepsons and they're 22 and they've been in my life since they were 14. And what I realised was when I was younger, the boys had posters of girls, posters of cars. Boys don't really have that anymore because it's so available. They can just go on the internet and they can see a lot more than a pair of boobs. And that's a shame because it kind of puts page 3 sometimes in that bracket. Because they think every page 3 girl must have done more than they did, but they didn't. If we had have done, we wouldn't have been the girl next door. And if we did do that kind of thing, Kelvin Mackenzie would have banned us ever to do a shoot because we were supposed to be a family girl, a girl, not a lot of makeup, approachable.
Yeah, natural.
Natural.
Yeah.
No airbrushing, no filters. That any girl could be us. You know, if you keep your figure well and you look after yourself, and not so much as a threat to other women or men, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting now. I mean, everyone's gone crazy with filler and everything. And there was something like nice about like the models back then. Yeah, they were natural. Lovely skin. Lovely
we still
hair.
look the same, but older.
Yeah.
I don't know what these young girls are going to look like. I mean, some girls are doing it at the age of 16, filler and Botox, but what are they going to look like when they're 30 or 40?
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
But then again, I don't blame women about plastic surgery. Like, for example, you know, if they want boobs because it makes them feel more comfortable and more of a woman in their clothes, then go for it. But I just think it's a bit scary. Young girls are going for all this kind of stuff. It's got to be really careful.
Yeah, you do.
Especially when you read about things that are going wrong and people dying, going abroad, getting new bums and not coming home alive.
I know.
Because they're getting a new bum.
I know, and it's just like vanity. It's absolutely crazy, yeah.
But don't you think bums are now the new boobs?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's mad, right?
I haven't got a bum,
have
but I just...
I'm definitely not fashionable, me.
No, same. I'm just like, well, whatever. I hope this trend like bypasses us soon because I haven't got a bum.
No, I've never had one either.
No.
I wouldn't mind a little more, a bit of this tape put on a bit of there. You know, that would be nice.
So how was it moving from modelling to then a pop star? Because there couldn't have been, say you're gorgeous looking and you're a great page 3 model. There can't have been many of you that could have made that transition. I mean, who was in your clique in that era? Linda Lusardi?
Linda.
Yeah.
My best friend was a girl called Suzanne Mitzi, and she was very talented in the way that she was a great painter.
Right.
And then she used to start to model for Vivienne Westwood.
Right.
So she had something about her. And then Linda went on to be an actress in Emmerdale and various other projects. And I went on to be a singer. That's the other thing about page 3. Back in the day, we all had other talents as well.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't stupid.
Yeah.
We knew exactly.
You've only got so much time.
Yes.
And then, of course, you need another string to your bow to keep your career going.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And, okay, Linda was a great actress, so she went into acting. Mitzi was a great painter. She went into that. Nothing was going to stop us. And by me going to drama school really young, and I was always given the singing parts mainly. So singing was what I really loved. I could act, but I really and truly, my deepest dream was to be a pop star, you know.
And you were a mega pop star. So you had a smash hit.
Yeah, my first single.
How did that come about then?
Well, I auditioned for that. I was on Terry Wogan, and he was saying to me, "You got any other talents?" in his cheeky little way. And I said, "I love singing." He said, "Who's your favourites?" And I was saying, "Oh, Eurythmics, I love them, and Annie Lennox." And he said, "So you want to be a pop star?" I said, "Oh, yeah, and I'm going to be." I was very, yeah. And then the next day, because it went out to like 9-10 million people, Wogan, back in the day, maybe more, the phone didn't stop ringing, people wanting to send me songs. And a record company called Jive Records, they were new, with only Billy Ocean and Ruby Turner. And they rang my dad, who's now managing me, of course, because the modelling agents that I had didn't realise I could do other things other than page 3. I could do presenting, I could sing, I'd do all sorts. So Dad became my manager, and then he was just answering the phone all day and the next day from record companies, "Can we send you a track?" So lots of people sent me tracks, but one particular track I put in my cassette recorder was a song called Touch Me. And on the notes was like, we're looking for a British Madonna. And I was a big, big fan of Madonna at the time.
Yeah, who isn't? Yeah.
The original girl power, oh my God, she's such a strong woman. And yeah, I want to be like that. And what great songs. And I put Touch Me on. I thought, Madonna would love this track. Straight away, I was thinking Like a Virgin.
Yeah.
I thought this could be the new controversial, I don't know, girls just singing about sex, or just, why should only men sing about it? Why should only men wiggle their hips and get away with it? Women weren't getting away with it so much. I mean, Madonna was the catalyst at that time. So a lot of girls did look up to her because she was a strong
she was
woman.
Absolute firebrand. She was absolutely out in front, wasn't she? And
so that
amazing.
was, out of all the tracks, that was my favourite. And
it's still a smash hit.
Yeah.
It's still, I looked on YouTube and it's like one of the most played videos.
Yeah.
You still perform it now.
Oh, yeah. If I didn't, there'd be a riot.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I do. Of course, it's always the last song.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because they all know the words.
Yeah.
And they're all waiting for that.
So this is the 90s when that came out?
No.
Late 80s.
Touch Me came out in 1986.
Right, okay.
So I started modelling in 83 and I had a 4-year contract. So it's now 3.5 years in and I've got a few more months to go.
Right.
And I sang Touch Me. So it became this big, big hit, but I was still having to do page 3. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want the young kids getting confused with page 3 and my music career. So in a way, I couldn't wait for the modelling to end because already I was on a new venture.
Yeah.
But I don't look back at page 3 and have any regrets. It's just that I couldn't wait for it to stop because, when I was doing my concerts, there were so many 13-year-old boys and girls and they weren't into, well, I know the boys were into page 3, but not so much the girls. And I didn't want them to be confused. That was that career and this is this. A bit like Mad, she'd done a few topless photos. It didn't seem to do her any harm because she didn't keep promoting that. So, and then it was released all over Europe and it went number 1 in, I don't know, I think, was it 15 countries? Then it was America time and it was released in America. It went to number 4. It was amazing. And Billy Ocean above me, Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. So quite tough competition.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to crack America. And I would say that you did it pretty much on your first single.
Yeah.
So then did you do a tour of America?
Yeah, not long after. Well, first we had Touch Me Out and then I released a track called Naughty Girls Need Love Too, which was even bigger. That went to number 3.
Wow.
And it was number 1 in the dance chart, number 1 in the black chart.
Wow.
So it was one of the first ever white women to be number 1 in the black chart because the producers were black. They worked with people like NSYNC, Justin Timberlake and stuff.
Yeah.
They did music like that. So that was even bigger than Touch Me. So then it was time to tour with the second album. So I toured America for 6 months.
And how was that? Just another world.
Yeah. It's one thing, keep doing promotion, going in the studio can get quite monotonous, but getting out there on the road and also, especially back in Britain, performing live, so many people at first said, that's not her on the song, she can't sing. Still people taking your looks and not thinking you can do anything else, which is ridiculous. And I couldn't wait to sing live just to prove to people. I know we shouldn't have to prove to people, but when you're young, like I was, you keep having your knockers, excuse me, you want to prove to people. So I couldn't wait to get out and do live with my band.
No, absolutely.
And I'm still doing it today. Last year we did another great tour of America. I don't know, I perform in France, Italy, Spain, Mexico recently, anywhere in the world you can think of. I don't think there's a country, it's quite amazing, that don't know me.
I know.
Which is scary, really.
It is amazing.
There's no hiding from me.
Yeah.
Apologies for interrupting this podcast, but I need to ask a favour. If you're enjoying this podcast so far, then please hit that subscribe button right now. I'll be straight up and honest that I want to see this podcast grow and flourish into something that I'm really proud of. And the only way that I can do that is with your help. So if you've ever learned anything useful from these conversations, then please return the favour by liking, rating, subscribing, and maybe even sharing it with your friends. Thanks very much. Let's get back to the episode.
It's incredible you've had such a long career. So, this is the 80s. Now, I'm born in 85, so obviously I don't really remember this, but I literally live in the 80s and 90s in my head every single day.
You like it?
I love it.
Like the music?
I just love it. I just love it. And I was watching One Day on Netflix, and that and obviously it goes through 20 years, and it just reminds me of that pre-social media time, pre-mobile phone. Yeah. So this is like when celebrities were real celebrities, and you could pretty much, you could do a lot more in terms of, you're not going to get photographed by the general public on their phones and stuff.
I know. Oh my God, when I go to a concert, as much as, I don't know, I like the modern world, but I do miss the 80s and 90s, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
Because if I go to a concert now, I don't really see anything because, I don't know.
And
it's just so hard.
Everybody's watching it through a screen as well because they're recording everything. But I absolutely love that pre-social media time. The music was amazing. But there were some bona fide, amazing celebrities knocking around that you must have been in the whole circuit with at that time. George Michael, Freddie Mercury. Like, these are like absolute superstars, and you're right there with them.
I know. I mean, my first big party, like, when I was a page 3 girl, I used to go to a lot of premieres and openings and things like that. But I'd never been to a rock and roll party, especially, a Queen party.
Yeah.
And I was invited to that in 1986 because Touch Me was like everywhere all over the world. And I went to that, and I remember walking in, and there was Kim Wilde, Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran, all my idols.
Yeah.
People like I was playing their music, George Michael.
Yeah.
And I remember I was with my friend, another girl from the 80s who was our silver medalist at the time, Susan Dando. She was my mate. And both of us walked in, and it was like, oh my God. It was wall to wall with, let's say, A-listers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm at the front because the Queen had done their gig at Wembley, and it was their anniversary, so many years of Queen. I can't quite remember how many years it was now. And he had a band, Queen, when they jammed, were called the Dicky Hearts or something. And it was like, we're watching Queen that close, playing all cover songs. And I was like that. There's Freddie Mercury. I never dream I'd be seeing Freddie so up close, being a big fan of Queen and his voice. One of the best performers in the world for me. And I couldn't stop looking at him. And then suddenly, I thought, out of everybody in that room, he pulled me up. And I thought, no, this is not happening. Because I still felt like, in the music business, still felt like page 3. And I bet they think I've only really sold records because of who I am. But, that kind of insecurities that you have. And I was still only young.
Yeah.
So when I got up with him, I was like, oh my God. And he said, what song do you know? What song do you know? We'll sing it together. And I went, Touch Me. Oh my God, how stupid. And he said, Touch Me. No, he can't sing Touch Me. He said, I don't know it. And like that. Why would he know it? It's not been out long. He said, Go Johnny Go, or do you know Tutti Frutti? And I thought, Tutti Frutti? Oh, that's easy. Yeah, Tutti Frutti. So we sang that together. And the next day on the front page of The Sun was a big picture of me and Freddie singing like that, a real rock and roll picture.
Yeah.
And front page. And do you know what? It really changed people's perception of me.
Well, it would have given you some hell of credibility.
Really did. And I thank Freddie to this day for that opportunity, because he didn't have to pick me, but it turned out he was a fan of my pictures. And a fan of me. He said he'd seen me on loads of shows, and he thought I was very down to earth and I was going to go far. And he said he liked my voice, and I didn't sleep for days. I was over the moon,
Yeah.
So he really did help me.
I just think it would be amazing just to be in that era. I said, I'm still living in that era in my head, but music was great. Life was great.
Fashion was
great.
We look back on it now, we think, but at the time, the clothes represented the music, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was great. Whatever you wore in the 80s, you could kind of tell if you was a new romantic, or if you was a rock chick, or you was a culture club with the things. And everybody kind of dressed to who they was following or who they was into. Yeah, I know when I first went to America, all the girls came to the concerts with, because I dyed my hair pink on Naughty Girls, just underneath. All the girls were doing pink and wearing ripped jeans and jean jackets. And I never wanted to wear anything too expensive at the beginning of my music career because I wanted girls to be able to
dress like
that and afford to be able to wear those kind of clothes.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, I'd love to be back in those times. I really would.
I think that's quite amazing because you're younger than me. You're born in 85. I mean, you were a babby.
I know I was, but born in 85.
Was it your parents who?
I don't know. I just, even now when I've got I love 80s playlists, you know, I always whack them on, especially if we have a party or anything like that.
They always go down.
Everybody loves that era. Like there's no one that ever says anything about the 80s. I just think it's amazing. Just love it. Love George Michael. Yeah. I have him on repeat all the time. At Christmas, I put up a cardboard cutout of George. Kelly will tell you.
He was a lovely guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel like people of that era, just bona fide celebrities, had a bit of style about them.
Yeah.
Bit of class. Not like today when it's a bit oversaturated, the market. You've got influencers who are just like, the world owes me a favour kind of thing. But you wouldn't have a career as long as you have if you hadn't been decent to people along the way.
Yeah, exactly. We always had to turn up to shoots, video shoots with large amounts of clothes, accessories. Now I watch some videos and I think they look like they're just slung on their jeans they've left by the bed from the night before and put an old T-shirt on, and it just wasn't like that. I mean, I'm not putting those sort of bands down, but when you went to an 80s show, it was colourful, it was sequins, it was diamonds, it was OTT. And that's why I think a lot of people love those concerts, because there was lots of great costume changes and you didn't know what they was going to come out in. And I don't know, there was a lot behind the shows, a lot behind the videos, a lot more than there is now. I sound old-fashioned, I sound like one of those people, but I don't know, it was a great time. My mum always said to me, oh, the 60s were the best. Yeah, she was right up until that point.
Yeah.
And I can still say the 60s were the best and the 80s were the best.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
So last night on TV, Big Brother started again.
Yeah.
And you have done Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
So how was, I can't remember who was in your series. Who else was in with you?
Ooh. Stephen Bear?
Yeah.
That very nice chap?
Yeah, he's the only one actually I remembered from that series, and only because, I mean, he's so infamous now and
he was
absolute
a nightmare.
rotter.
Absolute nightmare. Absolutely. There was a few reality people on there. There was some people from Geordie Shore,
right?
Towie and Stephen Bear. He was known, what programme was he known from at that time? Was it X on the Beach? I could be Sex on the Beach.
Yeah, something like that.
X on the Beach.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of reality in there, which I wasn't really kind of used to because I've done The Jungle, which is reality for, what's the cooking programme with four of
MasterChef. You've
Not
done
that one. That
yeah.
one where you all sit and eat each other's food. And
that
one.
Come Dine With Me.
Come Dine With Me. So I kind of done those shows, but I've never really met these kind of people like, you know, but oh my God, they was outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking.
Well, they haven't got a talent. Like, you were a model, but you had a real talent. You were good at singing, acting. You know, you had a talent and you've had a great career. And these people have literally got no talent apart from their attention seekers. So they've got to be more outrageous every single time the camera is on them, basically. Yeah. Otherwise, they're not getting any.
No, I knew the minute I went in there and I saw the people coming in that because they're reality stars, there's cameras on them all the time. So they're in Big Brother all their life. So they know where the cameras are. They know what to say. They know what gets airtime. And I remember sitting there thinking, I cannot compete with this. I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've sort of been there and done that. And I'm grown up now. But yeah, I'm not dissing those people because everyone's got to make a living and that's the way they have to do it these days. Fine. But when it becomes a bit dangerous, like with Stephen Bear, he was quite throwing glass around the place and food everywhere. Like we weren't getting a lot of food at one point, and then he would just go in the cupboards, throw everything over the floor.
Just really immature.
I know what he's doing, obviously, and he did win. Yeah. And that's what people want. And I remember thinking a week in, I'm not going to compete with that. Yeah. I'm just going to sit this out and not getting too involved with this controversy. Yeah. Although they probably wanted me to. Because I can be feisty. I mean, there's only one point with Stephen Bear. I just said, throw yourself a penis. I think that was the most naughtiest thing I did. What?
You also did the jungle. Which would you?
Sorry.
That's the. Listen, I
Well, I didn't know where to say. I mean,
well, I would have said a lot worse than that to him.
No, do you know there could have been a lot? It could have been a lot worse, and I think the channel was waiting for that because they know I am a bit feisty. I don't take no shit.
No.
But I was like, oh no, you're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get it. I'm too much older than you, Stephen Bear, and I've been around a long, long time, longer than you, and I've seen this kind of situation many a time, you know.
For sure.
But enough goes slow. Because I wasn't so young as them and being so naughty, and I was just sitting there thinking, oh my God, it's taking forever this week.
It must be boring, like day in, day out, nothing to do.
It wasn't like the jungle. Like the jungle, you take away something.
Yeah.
The experience of nature and living outside and this beautiful place that you would never ever get to experience in your life. You know, who would ever go in the middle of the jungle and set up camp? And I mean, I love camping, so for me, I absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
And I learnt to make fire, and I learnt to, I don't know, lots of things I learnt to do. I can't even think about it now, but yeah, so many things that I did that I would never have felt that I would have had to do in life.
How were the challenges for you?
Well, the first challenge I had to do, I was stuck on, basically we were on this beautiful boat, all of us, and me and Gino D'Acampo picked out the shortest straw. I was like, oh no. And really lovely dress on. It was the first day that we'd all met each other and we were all in our lovely clothes, my high heels. Gino's in his really lovely clothes. He's very Italian in his gorgeous linen shirt. So now we've got to dive off this boat in the middle of shark-infested water in your clothes. And all I remember thinking, I've got contact lenses in. What am I going to do? I've got to get to that island in my contact lenses. So I said, can you please get me a pair of goggles? And it's stupid, but I thought, I can't be on that island for 24 hours without seeing.
No.
But mind you, it probably would have been better, I think. So the first thing me and Gina had to do, and that was I went first, and it was to put this, it was a cut glass like that, and I had to take the top off, and inside, the whole bottom of that glass was, it was a massive big spider. And they just said, Anna and Dex, Sam, we want you to put that spider and hold it in your mouth for 30 seconds.
God.
And I think because I was so tired, I never slept that much the night before. I think I was so tired, I didn't think about it, but I remember training for it, going boot camp and fighting fears with tree climbing and base jumping, and my boxing trainer saying to me, nothing's going to kill you, just always say that. But I was really tired that morning and I didn't even think about it, you know. I just went, I always said to myself, nothing's going to kill me.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to kill you on ITV, is it? Surely.
Hopefully not, no, yeah.
But there's always a first time.
It's still so unpleasant though. I still wouldn't want to do it.
So I did that and, I thought, great, yeah. And then for a while I didn't get picked to do anything because they said, oh, she's too brave. She's not a screamer.
Yeah.
Because they love the screamers, don't they? Yeah. But no, I enjoyed it. I really did. I ate rat. I mean, God, that was different. We were so hungry. Gino D'Acampo said, in Italy, we kill the rat and we eat them. And we were going, no.
Well, you do anything. I can totally relate. When I did Bear Grylls, I would have eaten anything that was in front of me. We did. I caught an iguana and we cut all its eggs out of its stomach and fried them. And I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm an absolute savage.
Did you feel like that, or did you feel so hungry that you just didn't care?
Oh, you just don't care.
No.
And, you know, it doesn't even touch the sides either. But I was like at one with nature. At first, when they first handed me a machete, I was like, I am not using that thing. You know, I was too scared of it.
Best friend in the end, I bet.
And then I swear to God, I was so adept to doing everything with it.
Yeah.
It was, it's amazing how your psychology changes.
Yeah.
And whenever I tell people like back here, like, I had to drink my own piss on the first couple of nights. And they were like, what? And I'm like, trust me, you've never been thirsty if you think it's gross.
Yeah.
Because of course it's not going to be my first thing.
Did you boil the pee before you drank it?
No, we just, they recommended that you bottle your first one because that will be
the best
one.
Right.
It'll be the most diluted. Mm-hmm. So it'll be the most hydrated.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God. And then they actually recommended that we swap it with each other because somebody else might have nutrients that you might need. And I was like, it's a step too far. I'm not drinking anybody else's.
I think I'd heave badly.
Same, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's bad enough doing my own.
I think it'd be worse. What's worse, drinking somebody else's pee or those drinks they do on the Jungle? And they're heaving and they're heaving. Oh, my God,
I couldn't do it.
I'm a heaver.
Yeah.
So I think definitely drinking, oh no, I don't know if I could. I think I'd be trying to pee myself so much. Squeeze it out.
So you've done Big Brother, you've done The Jungle. Would you do Strictly?
I'd love to do Strictly.
I think you'd be great at that.
Yeah.
I think you'd be great at that.
I'd love to do Strictly.
You've got the background. You must be able to dance pretty well.
Yeah, that's why I got bad knees.
Yeah.
The only thing with Strictly is I've been offered a few things lately. I can't really say because I didn't do them and I may do them next year. But I need a knee, a new knee. Yeah. All my meniscus is gone and the right one and it's going in the left. And I just keep putting it off because I hate having a disability where I can't do anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I've broke my ankle a few times. And even that, wearing that boot on my leg, and I still went on stage with it because I can't sit still. To be honest, I'm quite a hyper person in the way. The only time I can really relax is watching a movie or when I'm sleeping.
No, I know. It's I think you'd be great on Strictly. The only one that would terrify me, especially with your knees, would be dancing on ice.
Oh, I've been offered that. But my mum wouldn't let me do that.
No, I just think your knees would be shot because you've got to keep your legs, I don't know.
You have to keep them bent slightly. Yeah,
and I just think it would just be, I have bad knees myself and that would be the one that I would just think, no. And then if you constantly falling over onto that ice, I'd hate it.
I think it's very dangerous. I mean, you see the most accidents on that show. People have broken their noses, they've hit their heads.
Yeah.
When I told my mum I got offered that was before I had bad knees even. She went, I don't want you to do it because she knows I'm daring.
Yeah.
She knows I'd go for it. I wouldn't be just start like this. I'd go way straight in there. And she knows I'm like that. And she knows I'd get injured because I'm, quite clumsy anyway. But because I go for it, you know. Like me, if you say jump off that top board, I'd do it. I'm a bit daring. And she knows that, my mum. And I think she knew that I'd probably fall, break my ankle again, hit my head, break my nose.
Well, so she seems to be a real guiding light in your life and career, actually.
Yeah,
she was the one who helped you put your pictures in the first place and then was your stylist on most shoots.
Yeah, she was.
And has been that safeguarder. I said before, she was kind of like the Kris Jenner before. It was cool to be a
very
momager.
Protective.
Yeah.
You know, I always judged her opinion, obviously, because I was much younger and my mum had a little bit of that life herself, and then she got pregnant with me, bless her, and gave it all up for me. So in a way, when I became famous, my mum kind of knew the do's and the don'ts, you know, and let's keep it tasteful. Because before I did Page 3, me and my mum used to be in the morning. She'd be getting ready for work, putting makeup on, and I'd be getting ready for school. The sun was always on our kitchen table, and me and mum would always look. A lot of girls looked at Page 3, and they still, girls do, because we like to look at girls because we like to look at their hair, their skin, their clothes, and we're nosy. So most days we would discuss the girl, and my mum would say, I like this girl, she's lovely. What do you think of this girl? And I never even thought about Page 3 then, but we used to discuss the girls. I like her hair. I know it's silly, but because Page 3 had been around for so many years, we weren't looking at their boobs, the women, we were looking at their face, their pretty face, or their hair, their figure,
No, it was, like I said, she seems to have really steered you in a great path, and she's here today.
She is indeed.
She's fabulous.
She loves Liverpool. She absolutely loves it. She used to come, when I used to do Richard and Judy back in the day, she always came up with me, always, and we used to stay here for a couple of days. We've always loved Liverpool, and the people are so friendly.
It's a great city.
London's not really London anymore. It's really cosmopolitan. Whereas you come up to Liverpool, you come up to Manchester or Lancashire, the people they're still there and they've been there and they've still got that accent. It's like if you go to the East End in London anymore, I think there's not EastEnders who really live there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they've all moved out to Essex or Southend by the sea.
Yeah.
But I think the communities up north are so different.
Yeah,
London.
they are very, very friendly up
Very
here.
friendly.
So what is next for you? So you're still gigging all the time around the world, which is great.
Yeah.
Like you perform in France, Germany, America still, Canada, you're telling me.
Going to Canada.
Yeah.
Just been to Kazakhstan. Would you believe that? I never thought I'd be invited to Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
The only time I ever thought about Kazakhstan was Borat when he went there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I tell you what, that would be interesting. I'm one of those people, right? I love to travel. I love to go to places I'd never dream I would be going to. So to say I've been to Kazakhstan and kind of, you know, was a part of that culture at that time and meeting all those kind of, because in Kazakhstan there's so many different cultures.
Right.
There's Chinese, Mongolian, Iranian, Afghanistan, Indian, and you reap so many cultures in this one country because it's surrounded by so many. So it's really interesting.
And they all know the words of your songs? Are they singing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
They really do. And their favourite song, funny enough, when I was there, wasn't Touch Me. It was I Only Want to Be With You.
Oh, right.
They love that the best because I think they like kind of more oompa music. Oh, shit, sorry, I'll do that again. I think that particular country, when I did the songs which were more Aiken and Waltman style, they really liked the happy kind of music.
Yeah.
When I did the more rocky stuff, because Touch Me was a bit rocky, and then Do You Do You, I Surrender, they weren't so keen, but they loved the kind of, I call cheesy music. Yeah, they really did. They like to have fun. I think, you know why? Because it's -34. And I think they like that kind of music because it cheers them up.
I bet.
And it keeps them warm.
It keeps them moving. Jesus Christ, couldn't even imagine -34. So what's next for you project-wise? Are you going to do any more reality TV?
No, not for now, because it does take a big chunk out of your life to do these. Like when I did MasterChef, it's a good 5 weeks you've got to take out your calendar because you don't know if you might go to the final.
And how was MasterChef? Pressure?
Yeah, I've always watched it.
Yeah.
Always.
I've always watched it and I've thought, I think I'd be good at that. But actually, I don't think I would be good at that.
Do you know what? I thought that. But when you go in and you see that set, it's huge. And you're so far apart from each other because I was thinking, I might be able to cheat a bit.
Yeah.
Like that. You know, what are they doing? And, but you can't, you know. And I know it's not about cheating, but sometimes people do look over. I've seen them on there. What are they making?
And what did you make?
My sister was a massive big fan of MasterChef, and she was like, "Yeah, you got to do it." She was a big fan. Oh, bless her little heart. I'm talking about her in the past tense because I've lost her, but she really encouraged me, and she used to make the best cottage pie. And I was thinking, if I go on this show, people are finding it really hard at the moment, especially with families, the cost of living.
Yeah.
Shopping's gone up, the electric's gone up, mortgages have gone up, rents have got up. So I was thinking about my sister because she had 4 children. So she used to make great economic meals. So straight away I said, I really want that cottage pie recipe. So me and her went all through it. She taught me how to do it. And Sammy, you got to make a jus. And I went, what's a jus? A jus? What's a jus?
It's like a posh word for gravy.
I thought she said, I got to make a jus. No. So she taught me how to do that. And she said, how you put the red wine in and reduce it. I don't know. She had a real flair, my sister.
Yeah.
She was a great cook and she absolutely loved it. I mean, I love to cook, but she was a little bit more fancy than me.
You can really, if you execute a cottage pie well, though, like the Ivy do a cottage pie and Gordon Ramsay says it's his favourite dish when he goes in there.
Yeah.
So you can really elevate the standards. So as long as you nail it, with perfect execution on MasterChef, there's absolutely no reason why that wouldn't be like a great dish, winning dish. You don't have to get too technical.
No, exactly.
As long as you do one thing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tasty and it's very British.
Oh, I love it.
You know. We have Jamelia on there and she's Caribbean, so that was different. She was making like jerk stuff. And then we had Win, go compare. And he lives on a farm, so he was making like really nice lamb dishes. So everybody was doing different, which was great.
Yeah.
And no, I enjoyed it, but it started to get really hard. That's when you become nosy. You're going, right, we want you to make this in so many seconds and you'll get something. And I remember going, what's she making?
Is it like, do you like get given ingredients and then you've got to make something out of those ingredients? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to really think out the box. I mean, I got given a fish and it still had the eyeball, the head,
I wouldn't know what to do.
Bones.
Yeah.
I'd never filleted a fish in my life.
I'd be useless at that.
So what I did, I thought, what can I do? It's going to take me hours to do this. I've never even done it. So I changed, because at first I was going to do fish where I cut it in the middle, opened it and put all my veg in the middle on a bed of like noodles and then wrap it in foil with garlic and all this. And I thought, no, I can't fillet it. So I wanted to make it Chinese. I thought, I know, I'm going to do a stir fry. I'm going to cut pieces of fish off of it, put some garlic in there, a little bit of honey to make it sweet, some soy sauce. Then I cooked the veg first, then I cooked the fish. And it was really, really nice. And I got good points for that because I thought out the bag. That's what you've got to do in MasterChef, because you never know what's going to be thrown at you. And that's what my sister said.
Yeah.
You've got to be prepared. Do you know how to debone?
You've got to have a lot in your repertoire, haven't you?
Yeah. So when what did I get up to? Was it the semi-final? No, it wasn't the semi-final, the quarter-final I got to. And to be honest, when they said you can go now, I was like, oh, I don't know if I could have carried on so good.
Oh,
it was
really?
very nerve-wracking. I've got to say, every time that camera comes over, there's always a time when I'm peeling something or chopping something and you've got to talk and chop at the same time. You're sort of going, you want to go, oh, go away, come back in a minute.
Oh, God, you would have done better than me. No, I couldn't. I definitely couldn't do it. I'd like to think I could, but I just definitely couldn't do it. But no.
So I think this year I'm going to finish my autobiography. I did one when I was 50, but this next one's going to be even better. I think the editors left so much out of my first one. I was really upset. A lot of people think, why was that out? Why was that out? But people don't realise it goes to an editor who don't even know you, who don't even read your book, and they think, oh, that bit's too long, take that out. And then when you read it, sometimes you miss the point of the whole thing.
Did you write it yourself or did you get a ghostwriter?
Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Oh my God, to talk about 30 odd years of my life, even though I had the press cuttings, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
And it's having someone there to kind of, so in 1984, you were blah, blah, blah. What music was you listening to? So when you say, then you remember other things.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a ghostwriter because you can't think of everything.
No.
So yeah, next year we're going to do, I'm hoping I've got meetings with big TV companies, production companies, to do a drama series of my life, a little bit like the Cilla Black one.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, amazing. And then a documentary.
Again, incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I really do think you are the nation's sweetheart, a real national treasure.
Thank you.
There's still a lot of interest in you.
Yeah.
You know, and to see where you come from 16, now you're 57. It's been
God.
a long career.
It's mad, isn't it?
Listen, 57 is no age these days.
It's good, isn't it?
It's the new 37.
It's good. I like it. And I like the fact that, you know, years ago when women got older, it was like, oh, do you remember years ago when women went through their menopause and they started having the hot flashes and they'd cut their hair short and suddenly they'd change their image and they'd act that age, and I think, I'm never going to be like that. And I think women now are like that. They don't chop their hair off or wear daddy clothes or think that's the way they've got to look. I think women, as you said, the new 57 hopefully is like the new 37.
Well, it absolutely is. Everything I read these days is how we can reverse aging.
And we have to embrace we have to embrace our bodies,
for sure,
the way we look, and we must be proud of it, however old we're getting, be proud of who we are. So I'm looking forward to see how the series turns out and the documentary. And in between all that, the new album will come out.
And have you recorded this album already?
I've recorded most of it. I'm just looking for the right time to release it. Oh, wow. It's like, even that's changed, hasn't it, since the 80s?
Well, I was going to say it's streaming now.
Streaming and Spotify. And it's
And
very
TikTok
hard.
partnerships. I was having a meeting with someone the other day and they were saying a lot of musicians now, what they want is to be like a trending track on TikTok. And
Yes.
that actually would make you a lot of money.
Yeah, and reels. And reels as well.
Yeah.
It's, I think, what's that track?
Well, what's her name? The
Murder on the Dance Floor.
Yeah.
Or was that because of the film? I kept hearing that on
Sophie
reels.
Ellis-Bextor.
Yeah, I kept hearing
and
that.
The other one that was in the Stranger Things. What was she called?
Oh, yeah.
Kate Bush.
Kate
Bush rocketed back to number one. So that's what you really definitely want.
Wouldn't that be fabulous? Touch Me was in the Versace film, you know, and I thought that might have been because that was a huge film. And it was on for nearly the whole duration of the track.
Wow.
It's on when he's getting ready to go out partying.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And
Which the weirdo who killed him?
No, Versace himself.
Oh, right.
He was listening to my album, getting ready. I thought, might bring it out again.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Oh, how amazing is that? Do you get good royalties from that?
Touch Me. I get what you call MCPS, mechanical rights, and PPL, which is every time it's played on the radio, but not writing.
Right, okay.
I wrote B-sides on different countries when it came out. So I earned, in the old days, every time they played a vinyl, if you wrote the B-side, you got 50% of the A-side.
Oh, right, okay.
But now that doesn't exist.
Right.
I mean, you don't make money from singles anymore.
No.
But people make money from touring. But to be honest, I've been touring for so long. I wouldn't mind sitting back now and going,
I know.
bring those royalties in, please.
I know, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What's the noddy holder? Just sits there every Christmas.
Yeah.
Just like...
Yeah, and Wizard.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, Wizard and Noddy.
Thank you so much, Sam, for coming up to Liverpool. You're a fantastic lady. You're a wonderful customer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being such a great cheerleader for us.
No, you've really helped. Those tablets are really, I mean, a lot of people say about my hair, why is it so thick? And I say those tablets, my energy levels, you know, I remember when it first got my menopause, I was so tired. My memory was terrible. I'd be going up the stairs thinking, why am I up here? I'd find my keys in the microwave. Oh, it was terrible, really bad. And my skin's so much better. I don't know about women out there, but when I first got my menopause, I don't know, I kind of went back to being a teenager a little bit with my skin.
Yeah.
And it's amazing now. Yeah. And no, everybody asks me what my secret is and I tell them. So hopefully you sold lots and lots of tablets because of me.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you.